benefit those special interests and takes y'all's taxpayer dollars and doesn't support the people of Georgia.
All right.
It is my honor, not as a Democratic nominee for Attorney General, but as a lawyer, to introduce General Eric Holder to y'all. This is a man that has given his life to public service, to fighting for those same people, those hardworking Georgians, the hardworking Americans, whether it was working on the front lines with the federal government in the U.S. Attorney's offices as a young attorney to go after corrupt politicians, bringing some of the most impactful indictments against corrupt politicians in the brand new Public Integrity Unit at that time, whether it was as acting Attorney General and then Deputy Attorney General and then the 82nd Attorney General in the history of the state of Georgia, in the history of the United States, and the third longest serving Attorney General in the history of our great country. This is someone that on the front lines has been going after organized crime, has been going after corrupt politicians, has been defending the civil rights of the people of America. That is what he chose to do with his time. And now he's taken all of that expertise, all of that legal expertise, all of that passion, and he's put it into what I believe is the single greatest effort to turn around the civic discourse in this country, and that is the national redistricting effort that he is leading to return democracy to y'all and to our neighbors and to our families. So I'm going to step aside, and I would like y'all to put your hands together for Attorney General.
Send a message to this nation about what Georgia's really all about.
Yes!
Now you have here a guy who happens to be qualified to be Attorney General of this state. He's running against a guy who was inactive, had an inactive bar license for 9 years.
9 years.
9 years.
Would you hire somebody like that, General?
No. He wouldn't get in the front door. And yet the Republicans want to put that guy in the Attorney General spot. An extremely critical position, with a complicit Justice Department in Washington, D.C. now, not holding anybody accountable for all the things, all the corruption that's going on in the executive branch. It's going to be up to state AGs. As you see, the New York State AG is doing things. And if you have, let's say, how about a Democratic AG here in Georgia who could look at things and maybe step into the void that the Justice Department has left open. These positions are always important. They're always important, but they are more important now than ever. You've got a qualified young man right here who's got the experience, who's got the vision for what he wants to do with the office, running against somebody who's basically a hack. You know, I'm being charitable, and who's unqualified. And so what I want you to do is everything that you can to make sure that Charlie is the next Attorney General of this great state. And, you know, we as Democrats tend to get really fixated on the top of the ticket. You know, we get,
yes, sir.
Barack Obama, 2008, I'm there, 2012, I'm there. And we forget that there are a whole bunch of other people who will be running and who on a day-to-day basis probably have a greater impact on the lives of our fellow citizens than the President of the United States.
Say that.
And I'm talking about people at the state level.
Yes.
All right? So El Mahdi,
Yes, sir.
Regina, these are people we have to make sure get to the state capitol. All right? So they have to be a check. Well, no, they're going to be a check, but who has to go? They're going to work with states. They're going to work with states. If I was thinking check, you know, they'll be working with states. And so I hope that you will, you know, be as fervent and be as committed as I saw in 2008, as I saw in 2012. Frankly, I didn't see in 2016. 2016, just listen to the statistic. 4.3 million people who voted for Barack Obama in 2012 did not vote in 2016. Now, they didn't vote for Donald Trump, but they did not vote. And 1/3 of those people were African American. Now, if you had those folks voting, Hillary Clinton would be president of the United States right now. And think about how different our nation would be. We wouldn't have been talking about Kavanaugh going to the Supreme Court. Gorsuch wouldn't be on the Supreme Court. So, you know, the door knocking, the phone calls, that is really important. We need to get everybody registered, and then we need to get everybody to the polls. And I want to thank you all for the work that you have done and the work that I hope you're going to be doing. You have extremely busy professional lives, and you have personal lives. And what I'm going to ask you to do is something that's almost unfair. I want you to graft something else into your lives, which is a civic responsibility between now and November the 6th.
Absolutely.
You know? It means maybe a little less television, a little less, I don't know, whatever it is that you like to do and that you kind of do routinely. Try to find the time to give to these extremely important campaigns. Our nation is at risk. Our democracy is at risk. This is the most important midterm election of my life. And I've been around for a pretty good number of years. I got a childhood friend here. We grew up together in Queens, New York. There he is, Al Gachet, right over there. He knows how old I actually am, so we're not going to talk about it. But it's been a long time, right? And what we have to do is we have to send a message about what this nation is really all about. We are a lot more tolerant than you would have, that Trump would have us believe. We're a lot more accepting than Trump would have people believe. We're a better nation than Trump would have people think of us as a country. And frankly, we're better than the Republicans would have us be portrayed. And that means it's not only at the federal level, it's at the state level as well, where Republicans have done all they possibly can to try to, you know, break up our democracy, keep people away from the polls with these voter ID laws, you know, because they say that there's all kinds of voter fraud. There's never any proof. Brennan Center says that you're more likely to be hit by lightning than to cast a fraudulent vote, right? But they put all these voter ID laws in place to keep certain people away from the polls. Here's an example. In Texas, if you have a state-issued concealed carry permit, right, with your picture on it, that will allow you to vote. If you have a state-issued student ID from the University of Texas, that is not sufficient to allow you to vote.